All right, let's try to develop this situation further, think it through. These targeted strikes on key facilities located in Europe and the vessels you mentioned earlier, how can Europe respond to this?
Well, it depends on the degree of Europe's consolidation. And Europe can respond to this, once again, in Putin's characteristic style. It can choose to ignore it and simply pivot towards offering even greater and more substantial support for Ukraine. That is, Europe has the opportunity now to implement a different scenario, one that Putin had before, but which has now lost all meaning. So you remember that at one point, Biden was successfully reined in with a simple thought, well, you give weapons to Ukraine and we'll give weapons to America's enemies. Back then, it was a perfectly clear scenario. Well, everyone understood who that enemy was. It was the Houthis. I mean, almost no one hid the fact that, well, we'll then arm the Houthis with, say, medium-range missiles and you'll be jumping around the Red Sea. And overall, it had an effect because it's such a practical thing. So now, when the Middle East is already all on fire, I don't know how well such a threat would work. So that's another option to start provoking some kind of proxy that would really put a significant strain on Europe. But in my view, for Europe right now, that would actually mean direct contact with certain elements of ISIS, you see? But ISIS is such a double-edged sword. You give them explosives for Europe and they'll blow up some shopping mall in the Moscow region. They're just completely uncontrollable shahids or shahids. You can't even tell which is which anymore. Yes, so from this particular point of view, it's actually a bit easier for Europe. That is, it has a perfectly clear and unmistakable proxy that's just itching to strike at any point on 1/7 of the Earth's landmass. So really, the only question is what exactly to put in its hands.
Uh-huh.
So therefore, the most logical response is now expanding the overall range of what Ukraine is able to receive for carrying out strikes against Russia.